Let's get into Qatar Airways. Now, this story literally keeps me up at night because a couple was forced to sit with a corpse for hours. You can't make this stuff up. Mitchell Ring and Jennifer Collin were on their way, I guess, from Melbourne to Italy, and a woman collapsed in the aisle next to them and died mid-flight. My eyes literally twitching. Like, I feel like I'm about to have a panic attack. In an interview, the upset couple said the deceased woman was placed next to them with a blanket over her body, and they were not given an option to change their seats for the remainder of the flight.
A passenger unexpectedly died on board the flight. The body then seated next to an Australian couple for hours. The couple says it happened during their 15-hour Qatar Airways flight from Melbourne to Doha.
Jennifer was encouraged to move by a fellow passenger who offered up a free seat next to her nearby, but Mitchell wasn't that lucky. He was asked to move one seat over into an empty seat. That is so horrific. I mean, how did she just die midair? His trauma deepened when at the end of the flight, passengers were asked to remain seated while medical crews removed an unidentified body. Mitchell said personnel did not attempt to keep the woman covered, exposing her face to him. Oh my God, like what? This sounds like a Black Mirror episode.
Well, the staff were there in no time, and I pat them on the back. They did a wonderful job trying to revive her. It was right beside me in the aisle, and they did everything they could, but unfortunately the lady couldn't be saved, which was pretty heartbreaking to watch.
Oh my gosh, prayers to that woman's family and her soul.
Then they went to try and move her. They brought this chair down, which I'd never seen before, but it had just two wheels on the back, and they put her in this chair. And they tried to wheel her up towards business class, but she was quite a large lady, and they couldn't get her through the aisle because her height was at armchair.
Oh, so she was a big lady too. I mean, rest in peace to all of her. But geez, so that's even like more difficult, I guess. It's like to maneuver. I don't know what he means by big lady. They don't look like they're the smallest people, so if they're calling her big, then.
So they looked a bit frustrated, and then they just looked at me and saw seats were available beside me. My wife was on the other side. We're in a row of four by ourselves, and they just said to me, "Can you move over, please?" And I just said yes, no problem. And then they placed the lady in the chair that I was in.
So clearly they are shaken up over this incident. I mean, I would be, wouldn't you guys? The Airways gave a statement to TMZ saying that their thoughts are with the family of the passenger who passed away on their flight, and they apologize for any distress that incident may have caused. So, sorry, wrong time, wrong place, I guess, is like what they have to say.
Yeah, I'm not a great flyer at the best of times, but when my husband turned around and said, move, we've got to move, I was really shocked, and I said, are they going to, put her there? And luckily a lady behind me on the other aisle, she said, darling, come here, a lovely English lady. And I sat next to her. But so Mitch was across the aisle then from me for the rest of the flight.
I don't know how you're going to go, Mitch, getting her back on a flight after something like this. But from what we understand, there were empty seats on the plane. Did cabin crew offer to move you?
No, they just asked me to move.
They do claim they've been in direct contact with the family of the deceased and offered passengers directly affected by the uncomfortable situation emotional support and compensation. So they did get a little bit of a payout, but I would rather not have that experience. Ugh. Let's get into Elon Musk. I remember making videos about Nick Cannon and how many children he has, but Elon Musk is now the winner. He's over here just birthing a whole new generation of people because it turns out that he's just had his 14th child. So Siobhan is a business partner that Elon works with, and they already have 3 children together. Siobhan made the post discussed with Elon, and in light of beautiful Arcadia's birthday, we felt it was better to also share directly with the world that they have their son Selden. He's built like a juggernaut with a solid heart of gold. Love him so much, she wrote. Don't you guys find it weird that she's continuing to have kids with her boss? Like, are they doing it like IVF? I'm assuming IVF, but I don't know if they have some kind of like emotional relationship. She's just going to have a bunch of this guy's kids, her boss. I know she lives on his compound because we made a deep dive video about him recently. Elon simply replied to the post with a heart, confirming everything. It's interesting because keep in mind, Ashley St. Clair, who is a fan of the channel, shout out Ashley, she gave birth to his son about like 5 or 6 months ago. Ashley claims that Elon wanted to keep the baby news quiet, as she alleges Elon has seen the baby boy only 3 times since he was born. Now, if you saw the messages from Ashley St. Clair in the lawsuit that she had filed, Elon is very paranoid right now, which, as someone who, I'm a paranoid person too, I get it, but he's also in a crazy position with a lot of people who hate the government right now. So probably not the best idea for Sarah C. Roberts to go and say on TikTok that she wants to go unalive Elon Musk. I mean, the government's clearly going to show up at your door. She had to make a post saying that she regrets trying to make stupid jokes on the internet and she does not condone any violence.
Elon Musk, like, we need to X him, and by X I mean formerly known as assassination. And someone from FBI is gonna fucking show up. I don't arrest me. You don't have enough people to even investigate me at this point. I haven't filed my taxes in like 8 years, and yet no one's covered me. So I'm gonna fucking say it. Let's assassinate some motherfuckers.
Now, Sarah claims that she thought she was protected under free speech, but free speech isn't going to protect you if you're making like a death threat upon someone. Not only is it so cringe, but it's so violent. Like, you think you're on the right side, but you're the one that's promoting like assassination. She also wants to let the U.S. attorney Ed Martin know that she was visited by the FBI on Sunday, and she claims to TMZ that a man and woman visited her apartment for 20 minutes without a warrant, who even apologized for inconveniencing her. She's gone pretty viral for making this kind of threat, so people are now going after her, threatening her and her workplace. So I mean, sometimes it's just better to stay silent, especially if your joke involves the assassination of someone who's very powerful. Because Sarah made this video, so many people were paying attention to her, and people started to realize that she had some discrepancies in her own taxes. She claims she's not currently concerned, but now she's being investigated for her taxes and not paying taxes. So it's crazy how she got attention. She wanted attention, just probably not the attention she anticipated. Thank you for watching this clip from the Let's Get Into It podcast. To view the full episode, visit the link listed below.